MP has now demanded a CBI investigation. A letter has now been written to the Home Minister demanding a CBI investigation into this. Several questions have been raised by BJP MP Soumitra Khan. In the letter, it goes on to raise at least 6 questions and what needs to be investigated. Tanushri is with me for more on this. Tanushri, we do know that the BJP in the state so far has been questioning the TMC and why several of these lapses have come to the fore from that particular event. Now there is a chorus for a CBI investigation as well.
Absolutely. If you see today, BJP MP Soumitra Khan, he has written to the Home Minister and he has raised several questions. Now, one of the questions that he has raised is that when Nazrul Mancha has a capacity of 3,000 crowds, and how come approximately 7,000 people were allowed in that auditorium? Also, were the police personnel on the spot? Because certainly people are questioning that there were no police personnel on the spot. Also, one of the main questions that the BJP is raising is that when the body of KK was taken for post-mortem, we have seen that, there were Trinamool Congress leaders, there was Arub Biswas and other Trinamool Congress leaders. Why were they present? That is the question that the BJP is raising, and they are also alleging that BJP leaders like Shubhendu Adhikari, they were not allowed to visit the hospital. Now that is a question that they are raising. Also, another question that is being raised is that if the AC was not working, then how come?
Right. Sorry to interrupt you there. BJP MP Soumitra Khan is with us on this broadcast. Thank you so much for speaking with us, sir. You've raised 6 questions in this letter that you've written to Home Minister Shah. Would you elaborate on that, please?
Yes, I wrote the letter to Amit Shah because KK murder is questionable because no police officer at the Nazrul Mancha, no escort in front of the KK, and nobody meets with KK's after death. But why? It is questionable for the जो 2,400 पब्लिक का बैठने का जाएगा था, वहां पे 7,000 जो पब्लिक आ गया, तो इसके पीछे कारण क्या है? कोई भी नहीं, कोई भी कुछ भी, इसका क्या मतलब है? तो इसलिए हम लोग चाहते हैं एक्चुअली पश्चिम बंगाल गवर्नमेंट नाउ ट्रैवल्स बाई बहुत सारे ट्रैवल हो रहा है उसका एसएससी और स्टेट का, ये किसी को भी मुलाकात करने भी नहीं दिया. इतना पैसा आया से हाउ मच कलेक्ट, कहां से पैसा आया इतना, तो सब देखना चाहिए, जांच करना चाहिए.
जी सौमित्रा खान जी, धन्यवाद हमसे बात करने के लिए. हियर ऑन टाइम्स नाउ द बीजेपी रेजिंग सम strong questions there against the TMC government, now wanting a CBI investigation into what they call is a murder and not even a death of the iconic singer in Kolkata, which happened at a few hours, in fact, after his concert at the college festival. The politics over KK's death is only escalating now. The TMC, of course, so far has come out and defended itself, rubbishing all the allegations that the Saffron Party have made so far against them. But there are several videos that have come to the fore from that particular event which have raised questions, like the one that is on your screen. Is that when this mismanagement came to light in a damage control attempt, the authorities there actually used a fire extinguisher to disperse the people there. Now, the doctor who conducted the post-mortem on KK came out and said that had he been given CPR on time, had he been taken to a hospital instead of his hotel room, perhaps his life could have been saved. Remember, KK fell ill right at that concert. There were 3 times more people than the auditorium had the capacity for. The AC was not functioning. KK also had a medical condition. His arteries were blocked, is what the doctor has now come out and said, which only aggravated the situation that he was in. Right after the concert, he felt uneasy. He was taken to his hotel room, where in just a few minutes after, he fell unconscious and had a cardiac arrest. Tamal is with me for more on this. Now, Tamal, the politics over this is only raging because of the kind of comments that have come to the fore from the experts in this case, or from the doctors. The fact that not only were there multiple lapses, but he didn't even get the medical attention on time.
Well, of course, he did not get a medical attention on time because the manager had taken him to the hotel instead of a hospital. That's one. Second of all, the negligence that BJP, as part of a political party, had been alleging, even on part of the state government and the state administration. They are trying to suggest that the capacity of the auditorium had been limited to 2,482, and how come so many people had entered into the auditorium, leading to a situation of absolute suffocation and claustrophobia for somebody who was actually enduring a lot of duress and exhaustion. That's one. Second of all, the counter to that from Trinamool Congress so far has been that this is a program that has been organized by a college. They had sought permission for the auditorium. The permission was given. However, the functioning and the nitty-gritties of the program were not controlled by the state or by the administration. The organizers have not really issued any statement as yet, but then BJP is trying to allege that this had been an absolute negligence on part of the state government, because the organizer, the college which had organized this program, had also seen the essential participation of students who belong to Trinamool Congress Chhatra Parishad. That's the allegation coming from BJP. BJP has now suggested that if the family wants, then there can be a CBI probe and they will be giving absolute support to it. Well, it's important to note the family has not given any statement as yet.
Explain to us, what was the role that TMC's Youth Congress was playing in all of this, Tamal? Because earlier also we had Suvendu Adhikari coming out and saying that tickets were being sold in black, that they had a role, implying that they had a role in organizing this event as well.
Well, every college has a students' union, and if there is a college fest or a cultural event, these events are mostly organized by the college students' union. As far as Gurudas College is concerned, this particular college, the Students' Union, was owned by Trinamool Congress Chhatra Parishad, and that's the direct connection with Trinamool Congress Chhatra Parishad organizing this event, and the college, the main organizer of this event, was essentially paid and sponsored.
Well, in fact, sorry to interrupt you. Stay with us. Dilip Ghosh of the BJP is joining us here on the phone line. Dilip Ghosh जी, जो TMC बोल रही है कि आपने और आपके पार्टी ने इतने एलिगेशंस जो बनाया है, लगाया है, CBI की प्रोब मांग की है, ED का प्रोब मांग की है, but then, well, it seems like we've lost that audio connection. But the TMC on their part has been alleging that it is BJP politicizing the entire unfortunate death of KK. Well, in fact, let me go back across to Tamal. Tamal was telling us about the details, but I believe we have Dilip Ghosh with us. Dilip Ghosh जी, आपको अगर मेरी आवाज आ रही थी, I would like to ask you, TMC बोल रहा है कि BJP politicize कर रहा है ये unfortunate death को.
देखिए, यहाँ तो यूक्रेन के साथ रशिया का लड़ाई होने से हमारे चीफ मिनिस्टर बोलते हैं मोदी जी ने लड़ाई लगा दिया, बंद नहीं कर रहे. यहाँ तो राजनीति होती है. हम देखें, सब लोग देखा है, कोई छुपा हुआ बात नहीं है. जहाँ 2500 लोगों की कैपेसिटी है, हॉल में 7500 लोग थे अंदर. एसी बंद हो गया था. और यहाँ आजकल जो गर्मी है, बाहर खड़ा होना मुश्किल है. हॉल के अंदर बिना एसी को, इसलिए घंटों भर लोग खड़ा रहे और वो एक से एक गाना गाते गए. जब वो उनसे सहन नहीं हो रहा था वो गर्मी, उतना तेज प्रकाश जो लाइट थी वहां, वो बंद करने के लिए बोले. वो वहां से निकलने चाह रहे थे, लेकिन जबरदस्ती उनको और गाना गाने के लिए मजबूर किया गया. और वो पसीना पसीना हो रहे थे, पहुंच रहे थे, बार बार मना कर रहे थे, लेकिन नहीं छोड़े लोगों ने. अरे फंक्शन कोई फंक्शन नहीं, इनके पार्टी के द्वारा, उनके जो स्टूडेंट यूनियन है कॉलेजों में, उसके द्वारा आयोजित था और सारे जगह से लोगों को लेकर के जबरदस्ती वहां भर दिए थे. और इस प्रकार अमानवीय स्थिति में उनकी मौत हुई है. और वो बीमार होने का बाद भी, पहले से शायद उनका दिल का समस्या थी, उसी स्थिति में फिर बीमार होने के बाद उनको होटल लाया गया, 3 घंटा समय बर्बाद किया गया. क्यों नहीं उनको इस स्थिति में हॉस्पिटल में लाया गया? तो
दिलीप घोष जी, टीएमसी बोल रही है कि ये ऑर्गेनाइजर्स की गलती हो सकती है. उनका जो टीम है जिसने केके को हॉस्पिटल के जगह होटल रूम वापस ले गए, उसमें टीएमसी की क्या गलती है, वो पूछ रहे हैं.
नहीं, ऑर्गेनाइजर कौन थे? इन्हीं के नेता थे, सब इन्हीं के द्वारा बुलाए हुए लोग थे. तो ऑर्गेनाइजर जो भी हो, उनको क्यों नहीं वो बुला रहे हैं, उनको क्यों नहीं पूछताछ कर रहे हैं? पुलिस कहाँ थी? प्रशासन का कोई उपस्थिति नहीं थी. एक इस प्रकार जो हमारे नायक है, उसको जो इतने पॉपुलर वो सिंगर थे, उनको जबरदस्ती क्यों वहां ठोसा गया और जबरदस्ती क्यों उनको गाना गाया गया? इसका जवाब कौन देगा? सरकार का कोई जिम्मेदारी नहीं. और उनको पैन सैल्यूट दे रहे हैं आपको पाप धोने के लिए. हर बार ऐसा होता है, हर चीज को ये पॉलिटिशियन कहते हैं उससे फायदा लेते हैं, जब फंस जाते हैं तो बोलते हैं हमारा कोई हाथ नहीं।
दिलीप घोष जी, ये शुभेंदु अधिकारी ने बोला था कि एनफोर्समेंट डायरेक्टोरेट की जांच की जाए क्योंकि 25 लाख जो दिए गए थे वो शो के, उसका जो डोनर है वो अभी भी अननेम्ड है, अननोन है। उसके बारे में आप कुछ बता पाएंगे? ये कहां से आपके पास इंफॉर्मेशन आ रही है कि अननोन सोर्सेस से फंडिंग की गई इस इवेंट की?
नहीं, मुझे नहीं मालूम इसका अंदर की बात क्या है, इसीलिए हम लोग इंक्वायरी का डिमांड कर रहे हैं। और इस प्रकार जो प्रोग्राम होता है उसमें कोई ना कोई बिजनेसमैन, प्रोमोटर, उनके द्वारा उसको स्पॉन्सर किया जाता है। वो अननोन ही रहते हैं हमेशा, पार्टी के प्रसार से वो लोग खर्चा करते हैं और उनको ला करके उसका प्रोग्राम से पार्टी ही फायदा लेती है। अब जब गड़बड़ हो गया तब पार्टी आपसे कन्नी कट रही है, हाथ धोना चाह रही है, तो पार्टी को भी जिम्मेदारी लेना पड़ेगी, सरकार को भी। अब ममता बनर्जी आकर के ऐसा कर रहे हैं कि बहुत बड़ी उन्होंने उसके लिए कर दिया, तोप दाग दिया, लेकिन ये घटना क्यों हुई? तब तक तो ठीक ही चल रहा था, क्यों यहाँ प्रशासन?
तो ये बंगाल की पुलिस तो जांच कर रही है, आप इंडिपेंडेंट जांच की क्यों डिमांड कर रहे हैं?
नहीं, यहाँ हजारों घटनाओं की बंगाल पुलिस जांच कर रही है, इसलिए एक को भी सजा नहीं मिला, ना तो कोई चार्जशीट हुई। और लगातार लोग कोर्ट में जा रहे हैं और कोर्ट के द्वारा CBI इंक्वायरी की और वहां से आदेश हो रही है। तो अगर सरकार के ऊपर, यहाँ की पुलिस के ऊपर लोगों की भरोसा होता तो क्यों इतना CBI इंक्वायरी की आदेश आ रहे हैं वहां?
तो आपका कहना है कि आपको कोई भरोसा नहीं है ममता बनर्जी के पुलिस के बारे में, और ये भी बताया जा रहा है बीजेपी से that all the organizers, the BJP alleges, were linked to the TMC student union, which was also heading the students union of this college where the event had happened. Thank you so much, Dilip Ghosh, for speaking to us. BJP Dilip Ghosh, they're making some stunning charges which are happening. But let me go across to Arunil as well, who's joining us. Arunil, even as we speak of the politics about it, the probe demands which are coming in, the final journey of the KK has begun already, and there are tearful farewells being made to him.
Well, extremely heartbreaking indeed, Meghna, for the family members, for the innumerable fans of singer KK, and for the music fraternity as well. We could see many stalwarts from the music fraternity had come to his residence. They went to the Warsaw crematorium as well. Some of them spoke so highly about him, basically saying that he was somebody, some of them basically said that he was India's first pop sensation to a very large extent. If you look at it, post the globalization era, when globalization took place in India, there were many Indian youth who were open to Western music. And that is when KK gained his popularity. Some of his songs, Yaro Dosti, Pal, they became a rage. They became an anthem literally for the college students and school students across India. And that is the case till now, and that is why he was performing in a college in Kolkata. And when he was performing as well, the kind of hysteria that could be seen inside amongst those college students was unmatched to none. With respect to KK also, he basically was a self-made man, one can say. He was somebody who was not from the city of Mumbai. He didn't have any godfather from the city of Mumbai, and he was somebody who grew in stature while performing in college festivals as a college student in different college festivals across India, and he won accolades, he won awards, and he earned recognition at that time. When he came to Mumbai, he had spoken about his struggles as well, basically saying that in the initial years he was forced to sing in hotels, in restaurants to earn his livelihood, and after making his mark, the kind of talent that he had of spotting future talent as well, that was also very remarkable. Because Arijit Singh, if we remember, singing sensation at present, he was performing in one of the singing contests, and it was KK who had told him that you are going to be the next big thing of India singing. So Arijit Singh later on paid his glowing tribute to KK by performing on some of his songs as well. So such has been the man KK. In fact, who knew that when he had gone to Kolkata to perform in a live concert for a college concert, that it will be his last. His family members completely appalled, completely distraught because of this incident. And yes, there have been several suspicions being raised that whether his life could have been saved. Abhijit Singer coming out in the open and saying that when these kind of concerts have been taking place, every kind of arrangement needs to be made to ensure that nobody loses their life. Not only the people who are performing, but people in the crowd as well, because it gets very claustrophobic in these kind of circumstances. But yes, today we need to celebrate the legacy of KK. That is also extremely important, and the kind of connect that he has made with Indian youth because of his songs. One can say that he had added words, he had added music to the expression and feelings of India's youth, particularly who were born in the 1980s and early 1990s. That is his main contribution to India and Indian music.
We'll keep tracking the developments on that front. Thank you so much. Today, of course, it is the voice of love, as it was called, KK No More. But right now, what we have been seeing is a lot of blame game over what really led to his unfortunate and untimely death right after he performed at this concert. You can see visuals of KK coming out and saying, "Bahut garmi hai, it's too hot here, really, really hot." Then he is also seen in the visuals pointing towards the AC, saying that it's not working. Who's responsible for these lapses is the question. But with that, let's move on in the bulletin. A quick run of the other stories now. Defense Minister of Israel, Benny Gantz has, in fact, on his first visit to India, received a Tri Service Guard of Honor in the presence of the Defense Minister, Rajnath Singh, and laid a wreath at the National War Memorial. It is said that Benny will also be holding a meeting with Rajnath Singh at Vigyan Bhavan. Thick, toxic white foam was seen floating on the surface of the Yamuna River amid the claims of our government of keeping the river clean. Now, this comes after the day the Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's visit to inspect the Coronation sewage treatment plant had happened. 3 soldiers were injured in a blast as they were private hired vehicle in Shopia district of Jammu and Kashmir. The Kashmir IGP has said that the nature of the blast is now being investigated. Well, India reports more than 3,000 new COVID cases, a marginal increase from yesterday, with more than 2,500 recoveries and 5 deaths in the last 24 hours alone. The daily positivity rate stands at 0.84%. Malayalam actor producer Vijay Babu appeared before the police to face interrogation for the second consecutive day in the sexual assault case registered against him. The actor produced digital evidence and also reiterated his stand that he's been falsely framed in this case. JDS councillor Prashant Nagaraj, member of the Hassan City Municipal Council, was killed in Karnataka's Lakshmipur extension area. Prashant was hacked to death by a group